Do you want to lead yourself, your team, and your organization with purpose, resilience, and sustainable success? Well, I hope so, because today we're exploring this book with timeless principles drawn from The Psychology of Leadership by Sébastien Page. So if you're a manager, rising leader, or just somebody who wants to know a bit more about influencing others, keep watching. So you may ask yourself, psychology and leadership, how are they linked? Well, they're fundamentally linked because leadership is not just strategy or process. It's deeply human. It involves emotion, relationships, motivation, meaning, and personal mastery. So drawing on positive psychology gives you a clearer lens for leadership. Don't just think of leadership as control and targets. Think of leadership as fostering well-being, engagement, purpose, and mastery. There's this PERMA model, and it's a framework for leadership. P is positive emotions, E is engagement, R is relationships, M is meaning, and A is accomplishment. And applying the PERMA model can be useful, so I've broken it down. P, positive emotions, isn't about forced positivity or ignoring problems. It's about recognizing and cultivating positive teams, positive states, which encourage others to perform well by practicing optimism, gratitude, hope. A leader's impact on how they're feeling themselves and how they behave impacts upon their team. And be aware about this so that you can be emotionally resilient and it'll help your team. E is engagement, being in a state of flow or deep focus. And it's vital because we must bear in mind the idea of return on time spent, another acronym if you want, ROTS. This ensures people are doing work that actually uses their capabilities and energizes them. Relationships are about trust, and authentic relationships matter. Positive relationships are amongst the strongest predictors of performance and happiness in the organizations. And if you've got positive relationships, you're likely to retain your staff rather than having to keep churning through them and going through the recruitment process again. M is meaning. People want to believe what they're doing matters. Leaders must articulate purpose as a vision, not simply as a cliche, but something that's concrete and authentic. A is accomplishment. And achievements actually do matter, but in the right way. Don't treat achievement as the only goal. Mastery is ongoing, failure is inevitable, and if you want to learn more about failure, do check out these videos I've made about the right kind of wrong. And learning is all part of a journey. So the key principles are look beyond the scoreboard. Too often leadership focuses purely on getting targets. But chasing only outcomes can produce unintended consequences, burnt out teams, eroded relationships, and a loss of meaning. Define success on your terms. Before you lead others, just lead yourself. What does success mean to you? What beliefs underpin your leadership? And this allows you to assess your core beliefs, and you may need to rewrite them if needed. Work backwards from your goals. Decide where you want to be in the long term, then almost reverse engineer how you would get there. And also think about the problems that you would potentially encounter and how you would overcome these before you actually encounter them. And also we need to practice strategic patience. Some things don't require immediate action, and it may be in those ones that a bit of time to reflect can be very useful. Mastery, it's a process, not a one-time win. You won't win all the time. We need to accept failures, but we need to learn to keep pushing ourselves and raising that bar consider a bit about sports psychology, positive psychology. If you want to know more about positive psychology, check out this video. And these show that resilience and mindset matter more than just simply the trophy. We want to cultivate engagement and focus. So make sure your team is doing something that engages them, that's meaningful, and implement structures, roles and tasks that allow flow, autonomy and meaningful challenge to individuals. Foster relationships and meaning. As a leader, we want to allocate time for connection, trust building and clarity of purpose. These aren't just nice to haves. These drive performance. And be aware of unintended consequences. When you set a goal, ask what else may this trigger? What are the trade-offs we're potentially making? Because if you're all working to achieve one goal, maybe you're not working to achieve a different goal. And obviously there's the unintended consequences if something occurs, like the Cobra effect, which was a bounty for people who brought cobras dead, and therefore people bred cobras so they could kill them and get the bounty. So your action plan is unique to you. But here's a quick 3-step action plan you may want to start today. Firstly, pick a goal. Could be for yourself or your team. And besides that goal, ask, what's the unintended consequences that might result? And then maybe map it out. 2, you could use the PERMA checklist. For that goal, how will you foster positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning and accomplishment? And then thirdly, schedule reflective sessions so that you can revisit your core beliefs. You can assess progress, review failures, and also, importantly, think about what you've learnt and adjust your plan accordingly. So if you can do those 3 things, then you're already leading more psychologically aware, perhaps, than you were before. And you'd be human-centered as well than many traditional leadership models. So in summary, effective leadership, it's not just about hitting targets or being the loudest voice in the room. It's your mindset. Psychology matters. Relationships are key. Putting underlying meaning into work and making accomplishment sustainable so we don't burn out. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you found this helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'd be interested if anybody wants to comment. Does the PERMA model resonate with you? Or is it a model you'd rather leave in a book that you may not read? I'll see you next time.